Hello and welcome to today's graphic design tip of the day. For today's tip, we're going into Canva to learn how to create an animation. We're going to specifically do this one for YouTube. So I'm going to go into my Canva dashboard and type in YouTube thumbnail. This is going to give me the exact size that I'll need to be able to put it onto my YouTube channel. Once in here, there's plenty of templates, but I'm going to choose the create a blank YouTube thumbnail to start from scratch. And if you've never used Canva before, all of your options are on the left-hand side. It's very user-friendly. If you want to upload anything that you create, maybe you drew something in Graphic Designer or Illustrator, you've created something in Photoshop or Photopea, you can upload any of those, even a movie. Maybe you used Adobe Spark to make an animated graphic, a logo. Any of that stuff can be uploaded right here and then added into your scene at any time. Other than the stuff that you create though, there's a ton of free stuff that's on here. Of course, there's the Canva Pro as well. But if we go to photos, you can see that there's a lot of free photos and I can search for something specific. Underneath elements, these are really great. Like if I wanted a bird, I could click on it and add it into my scene or search for anything specific that I'm looking for. Just be careful if you're not a premium member, look for the little Pro icon underneath. It's going to ask you to pay for it at the end if you do choose to use those. If I go down to my next option, I can see text here. So if I wanted to add any text into my graphic, maybe different words that pop up at different times through my animation, or if I'm creating some sort of comic strip where my characters are talking, those text items can pop up on different slides. Adding text is super simple. You can either grab one that already exists, so if I click on that, it adds it into my scene. Simply clicking delete or backspace removes anything that you add, or I can add a heading or any of these other sizes of text, and you can customize them very easily up here at the top, just like using Microsoft Word. Alright, the next thing down is audio. There's a lot of free sounds on here as well. Of course, you can upload anything that you have for free using your uploads option. Videos are really great to use as well, lots of free options. So if I wanted this as a background, I can add that in. Now you can see that since I added my bird in here first, if I wanted it on top of this graphic, I would need to rearrange it. So looking at my Canva palette over here, you can click on your object and go to position up at the top and send it backward so that it goes behind it or forward if I wanted it in front. So you could rearrange those however you want. You can also use your alignment options right here if you wanted something to align perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and remove that again. And the last thing is backgrounds. There's different background options that I would be able to add into the scene as well. So taking the same bird that I added here, I added the bird, I also added a branch. So how do I turn this into an animation? Well, it's super simple. After you know where those tools are on the left-hand side, all you need to do is duplicate your slide. So you can see I have the two items here. If I click the duplicate page option, I'll get the exact same slide. Maybe I want the bird's eye to open in the second one. I'll type in circle, and I can grab that circle, shrink it down, and I'll zoom in a little bit closer with Control+. I'll add a second one in there too, just to give them a little bit of life so it's not as simple of a form. And the second circle I'm going to change to white. And I'm actually going to duplicate the first slide again and push that one underneath this one so you can see that I'm going to have the eye closed, the eye open, the eye closed again. And let's duplicate the eye open again using my duplicate option and push that one down below the other one. So now I have eye closed, eye open, eye closed, eye open. If I want to change the timing of these slides, you can change it up at the top. So if 3 seconds is too long, you can make it a little bit faster. And if you want to test your scene out at any point, you can always go to the play option here at the top. And right now I have the float in option, so it's not looking like he's blinking. I'm gonna have to go through and change that. So I want to turn pan off. Let's turn it to none. Okay, so way too slow. Let's go ahead back out. And instead of 3 seconds, I'm going to change each of these to 1.5. Maybe even 1, just to mix it up a little bit. So you can see that as I open and close, it really started to look like an animation. So as you go through, you can continue to add things into your scene just little by little. So if I go back to my options on my left-hand side and under elements, let's type in wind. Okay, and then when the wind hits the bird, let's go ahead and have him lose a feather. I'm going to paste the wind again down here. I'm going to also grab the feather and paste it here and tilt it just a little bit. And I'm going to take this last slide and duplicate that. And tilt the feather a little bit more and pull it just slightly off. And let's duplicate the slide again. And the little movements that you do slightly as you go, keeping on duplicating that slide, you're gonna have a better transition for your video. Okay, and I need to speed up those last slides that I added in. So instead of 3 seconds, let's push those down to the 1 second mark. Okay, and you could continue to add into this, add more things happening in the scene at once, but you can see how that works. Without even drawing anything, you can use the graphics here, or you can create any of your own content on the design programs and bring it in here and do the same thing. I hope you enjoyed today's graphic design tip of the day.